On one of the events here last year at Sauble Speedway. Off turn 4 they come. Stewart's Equipment 100 getting set to get underway, and they are on it. House side by side with Kimball through 1 and 2 for the lead.
Whoa, Jordan House couldn't keep that car down, slides up the racetrack. He's got a lift. That allows Kimball out in front, and Dale Shaw going to take advantage. Drive to the bottom in the NTN 83.
Heck of a job by Shaw to sneak in there and get to the inside of Jordan House. He'll try to take that runner-up spot, but House keeps him pinched down off turn 2. They're side by side into 3.
Out in front is Ryan Kimball with a couple of car length advantage over the side-by-side battle between Shaw in the 83 and Jordan House in the 8. They are double wide a lot through this field. Normally you see them single out a lot quicker than this, but there's 2 good grooves here at Sauble Speedway.
One of the tracks that we go to where you will see 2 solid grooves. You can make it work here on the outside at Sauble, and you're seeing Jordan House doing that right now. It looks like he's going to hold off the advances of Shaw for the time being. He will clear the NTN machine, get in line now. Shaw's coming under fire from the outside with Rick Spencer-Walt.
Top 5 sorting things out. Rick Spencer-Walt still up there on the high side because Andrew Gresel's digging hard on the bottom. That 81 of Gresel, he's not going to fall in line just yet. He wants that 4th spot. A little bit of contact with Rick Spencer-Walt.
Walt in the Sauble Beach Road Warrior going at it through 1 and 2. That's the battle for 4th. Right behind Dale Shaw. Great view from the drone. They get inches away from each other. What a battle between the 81 and the 31. Down the front stretch they rumble. They've been side by side in lockstep like this for about 4 laps now.
Further back, a side-by-side battle between Gord Shepard and Sean Chenoweth. Matt Britico almost made it 3 wide last time out of turn 4. Gressel and Rick Spencer-Walt continue to battle side-by-side, door-to-door for that 4th position.
Somebody forgot to tell Rick Spencer-Walt, the 81 of Gressel, that pace laps are over. They can get single file. They continue to go door handle to door handle through 3 and 4. This time it's the 81 of Gressel by half a car length at the line, but Rick Spencer-Walt not done in the outside groove.
Wow! Gressel got squirrely coming off of turn number 2. They ran out of racetrack. Rick Spencer-Walt had to lift. The inside opens up to Shea Gemmel.
Shea Gemmel was doing some beating on the back bumper of that 81 now. He will move to the inside of Rick Spencer-Walt. Gressel has cleared that now. Action picking up for 2nd, where House and Shaw are going at it. Now you see Gemmel in the 3, still working to the inside of the 81.
Andrew Gressel just not able to hug the bottom of the racetrack through the turn. Shea Gemmel in that 3 machine absolutely is. So Gressel's got to get that car turning. He's got to figure something out or he's going to get gobbled up by the pack. It's an aggressive lot behind him. And Rick Spencer-Walt still hung up on the high side. Fitzpatrick now down low on the 31.
Well, we've seen some guys tonight, Adam, with good cars able to make a pass on the outside. I don't think that's 81 is good enough to work on the outside. He could be in trouble now. Gemmel's got to his left side, and they are lined up behind Gemmel to take a crack at the Road Warrior. It's going to be Steckly now sticking his nose in there as well as Gemmel clears the 81.
Andrew Gressel doing everything he can up there, but like you say, he just doesn't have the speed to be effective on the high side. J.R. Fitzpatrick now going to drive to the inside, sends it down into the corner behind the 22 at Steckly.
With point leader to the inside of the 81, and Fitzpatrick doing just what he said he was going to do, keeping that 22 in the out the front window, keeping track of where Steckly is, all while working with Andrew Gressel into 1.
Further back, we had contact between Blair Wickett and Danny Benedict that last lap. It really bottled things up behind them. They have sorted themselves out now. Dale Shaw starting to look racy again, looking to make a move on the 8 of Jordan House. They work through 1 and 2. Shaw really coming off the corner strong.
So Shaw pressing that issue with the 8 of House, and watching that 84, your point leader of Fitzpatrick. We'll see now that he's cleared Gressel, if he can reel in the 22 of Steckly. He's about 5 car lengths back right now, has not been able to close yet, but we'll see if Steckly gets bottled up as him and Gemmel catch the 2nd and 3rd place battle. Oh, Stade just got the 81 sideways off turn 4.
A couple of drivers very familiar with Sauble Speedway, both of them former champions here at the racetrack. They know just where to make a bump if you want to make a pass.
A lot of laps racing against each other here at the quarter mile. You see the Ridgeline Lubricants machine. The 17 of primetime Josh Stade, he will waltz on by the 81 of Gressel.
Oh, Gressel gets him back into the back bumper of the 17. Not able to get him squirrely enough to make a move, and then he missed on turn number 2. He'll fall back a couple of car lengths. Further up, Dale Shaw's doing everything he can to set up Jordan House. He knows he's got Shea Gemmel right behind him, so he's got to be careful not to open the door for Gemmel.
And we haven't focused on J.R. Fitzpatrick in 5 or 6 laps. He's now caught that battle for second. You're looking at 5 cars fighting from second on back to 6th. It includes House, and Gemmel now gets shot, kicked up to the outside of the racetrack. Give third spot to Shea Gemmel.
That was a real physical pass by Shea Gemmel. He used a lot of front bumper there. When you can see the hood of the race car buckle a little bit, you know they're really pushing the car in front of them, and that's what Gemmel did to open the door on Dale Shaw.
Well, Shaw is hurting now. He is bleeding spots on the outside. First it was Gemmel, then it was Steckly. Now Fitzpatrick to his left side. Off turn 2, down the backstretch. And again, the race for 5th spot. Shaw has it, but give it to your point leader, J.R. Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, the smart move for Dale Shaw right there was to let Fitzpatrick go. He had a big opening behind him to fall in line behind Fitzpatrick. No point in using up race car to battle for that spot. It's a long race.
And now you see your leaders working through lap traffic. The 79 of James Horner, the first one to go a lap down. And out front, still all the 29, flying Ryan Kimball in that SMG Motorsports J. Beck's construction entry. Having a great run here as we close in on 30 laps.
Deeper in the field, Sean Chenoweth in a bad spot in that 89C, hung up on the outside of Connor James. James has Tom Gibbons right behind him. Sean McGlynn right up on the back bumper of Gibbons, so Sean Chenoweth could be in trouble.
There's your point leader doing what he has to do. J.R. Fitzpatrick sitting 5th, 1.7 seconds behind the leader. The 29 of Flying Ryan Kimball. They all run nose to tail. Now your first 5 seem to be in one group. Then it's a couple car lengths back to Dale Shaw in 6th.
Much like a slow-moving accordion, the top 5 is now compressed back together. Jordan House within striking distance of the race leader, Ryan Kimball. Kimball's had things all his way here in the early going in the 29, and just like that, we are 30 laps into the Stewart's Equipment 100.
Well, Shaw sits 6th right now, but look who's running 7th. That's 17. The Ridgeline Lubricants Canadian Flat Roof Systems entry, prime time Josh Stade. He would love to win in his first APC race, and he would like nothing better than to do it here at his home track, sitting 7th and tracking down Dale Shaw.
Oh, trouble in turn number 4. Gord Shepard in the 10S. That car snapped around on him down there. Well, so much for that fired up, but Shea Gemmel in that number 3 just never came up to speed. A few cars getting knocked around. One of them was Eric Della Riva in that 74, and I mean, there was just nothing for anyone to do there.
Even though he's a young kid, he's been at this for a while. He's a APC winner at Sunset Speedway last year. And off turn 4 they come. Kimball gets to jump by half a car length down into 1. He'll pinch House. House really has to get on the binders, and that'll allow the 29 to squirt away off turn 2.
Really nice restart by Ryan Kimball, able to position himself up there where Jordan House couldn't really go anywhere. Now House going to try to fend off J.R. Fitzpatrick. They're side by side for second.
Not just Fitzpatrick, he's got the 22 of Steckly beating down the door as well. Now, Fitzpatrick to the outside, not really keeping track of where that 22 is now. He's hunting the lead off turn 4.
J.R. Fitzpatrick noses ahead of the 8 of Jordan House on the front straightaway. They're still door-to-door through 1 and 2. Fitzpatrick going to edge out ahead. He'll clear the 8 of Jordan House and set his sails on the 29 of Ryan Kimball, the top 3 single file. Behind that, all double file action.
He caught Kimball in a hurry. Right to the bumper of that 29 goes your point leader. That battle is on for fourth. The youngster Kyle Steckly out of Milverton on the bottom. Chesley's Josh Stade up top. Off four they come, and they can't go anywhere because Jordan House is using both grooves up in front of him. Those two are faster side by side than House is by himself.
Let's rewind to Peterborough Speedway, and we are under yellow for a wreck in turn number 2.
Tom Gibbons down there.
Let's try this again. Quick, fire it up out of turn number 4. Turn number 1, that allows Kimball to roll out ahead. What a job by Ryan Kimball to fight off the most dominant driver of the 2022 season.
Right behind that was going on. 17 Stade able to capture third spot on the outside of Jordan House. He's tucked in a line, and he slammed the door on House, backed the whole field up in 3 and 4 a couple laps ago. Luckily, they all made it through. They are single file the front 5. First battle on the Speedway, side by side, is for 6 to 22 of Steckly in the 81 of Gressel.
Andrew Gressel fighting hard on the high side, but he's going to bail out and drop in behind Steckly. Behind them, Dale Shaw side by side on the inside of that 83 with the 54 of Danny Benedict as J.R. Fitzpatrick gets a nose under the 29 of Ryan Kimball. Couldn't make it stick that time out of 2. Kimball right now, he's starting to overdrive that 29 car, just like we said. He goes down in the turn, slides up half a lane, tries to close the door on J.R. Fitzpatrick. What he needs to do is get on the brakes, get the car settled down into the turn. He's got to get back into a rhythm. He did a great job right there doing that.
J.R. able to point that car to the inside of Kimball off the corners. You see him doing it again. Gets it pointed down to the bottom. This time he's got a nose in there. He's to the wheel. He's to the number down into 3 and 4.
Kimball doing it right. He's up on the high side, but still keeping J.R. Fitzpatrick pinched to the bottom. He'll do the same thing down into 1 and 2, trying to keep J.R. down. J.R. Fitzpatrick keeping it clean right now. There's not a mark on that 29 machine so far on the left side as they battle side by side off of turn 4.
Closing in on the halfway point, and that's when business will pick. Oh, this time contact between the 84 and the 29. Kimball up the Speedway. The 84 of Fitzpatrick fills that hole, and this one is a long ways from over.
Ryan Kimball doing a masterful job right now up on the high side. Really making the most of his corner exits, keeping the straightaways long. He gets that car arced so he can get back to the throttle. But J.R. Fitzpatrick, man, that 84 machine is fast.
How hard is the 84 of Fitzpatrick having to work his tires on that inside groove? And the beneficiary of this could be sitting in third. Caution out, we got
Matt Pritico
spun in turn 4. Whew. The 4 of Connor James in the infield.
Goes right down, let Fitzpatrick get out there. So Kimball's going to try to roll all the way around the outside because Fitzpatrick has to wait for the 29 before he's able to go.
They fire, and Kimball gets a great jump. He's going to try to slam the door on Fitzpatrick. Won't be able to do it in 1 and 2. Here comes Rick Spencer-Walt, the 31W to the high side.
Great start by flying Ryan Kimball up on the high side. He'll take the lead, and Rick Spencer-Walt with a good run to the outside, battle for second.
Fitzpatrick on the bottom. Rick Spencer-Walt chases him high, wide, and handsome. And now Fitzpatrick will clear him, but Walt's not done messing with the outside groove. He's going to take another crack at Fitzpatrick off turn 4. What a battle for second.
J.R. Fitzpatrick is leaving that lane out there. He knows Rick Spencer-Walt has a run. He knows Rick Spencer-Walt's assertive enough to keep his car there. But Fitzpatrick will clear the 31 for second. Now Rick Spencer-Walt's going to have some work to do to get down in front of Josh Stade in the 17.
Stade's still there to the inside of Spencer-Walt. Now battle for the lead down the backstretch. Fitzpatrick Fitzpatrick pokes the nose to the inside. He's going to drive it in deep into 3 and 4. He scoots the 29 up the speedway just a bit, but Kimball holds the spot for now.
Ryan Kimball in that 29 machine. 48 laps, the lap leader. Almost halfway through the Stewart's Equipment 100. Lots of speed under that 29, but the 84 is pretty quick as well. Fitzpatrick enters turn number 1 high, comes off at turn number 2 a little bit lower, trying to make a run into 3.
29 of Kimball just fast enough coming out of the corner that Fitzpatrick unable to get the drive. The cross flags are out from starter Sean Gibbs. We are halfway through this one. Flying Ryan Kimball, your leader. Fitzpatrick second. Josh Stade runs third. And battle heating up for fourth.
And same thing, Kimball's got to get that car settled down into the corner. Fitzpatrick is not likely to stove into the back of the 29 of Kimball, so if he's got to slow down a little bit more just to plant that car on the bottom, that's what he's going to have to do. Fitzpatrick is playing around with his entry, trying to get that speed up off the turn, but he hasn't been able to do it just yet.
Hasn't been able to get enough of a run to get by the 29. Now the 29 of Kimball again starting to leak off the bottom of that bottom groove in the corners. He's getting about a quarter of the way up. We've got Rick Spencer-Walt in trouble now.
Yeah, Rick Spencer-Walt got squirrely off of turn number 2. I'm not sure if he had help from Jordan House, but House was quick to drive to the inside. Up front, JR does give a bit of a poke to the 29 going into the corner, but Ryan...
81 at Gressel just got into the door of Shaw. There's a big mess in 3 and 4.
I think most cars are going to be okay there. Billy Schwarzenberg slid in. Blair Wickett slid in the 97. I don't believe it was significant contact.
A lot of smoke from the 72 of Junior Farley.
Out front. This time Fitzpatrick didn't pass him. He knew enough. Don't get ahead of him because you'll be screwed.
Oh, JR had that back end swing out on him. Give Kimball a little bit of an advantage down to the one by half a car length. Going to keep JR pinched on the bottom. Side by side down the backstretch now. Half a car length for Kimball, but JR's not done.
No, Kimball slides up the track just a little bit, but so did Fitzpatrick. Side by side down the front stretch was Kimball by a foot at the line.
Kimball to the outside of Fitzpatrick again, and what a great view of this battle for young Kyle Steckly sitting third, trying to figure out who to follow with Josh Stade breathing down his neck. Now still side by side of the line, another half car advantage to Kimball.
The challenge JR has is right in the center of the corners, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, where he just can't get the car to turn with his foot on the throttle, and that hesitation allows Ryan Kimball to roll out in front and retake the lead.
Now Fitzpatrick might have bigger problems behind him, the 22. Milverton's Kyle Steckly, second in points, trying to run down your point leader.
And that's a big deal because JR was changing up his entry into the turn, backing up the corner to get a run off. You can't back up the corner if you've got a car right on your back bumper. Fitzpatrick with a good run through 2. Nose to the inside of Kimball for the lead. Nope, can't do it.
Well, Steckly's having the same problem. Well, he's trying to go on the attack on Fitzpatrick. He's got to play defense to the 17 of Josh Stade. Fitzpatrick again trying to back up that corner, trying to get a run. This time he looks like he's got a pretty good run. He's going to stick it in there in 3 and 4. Backs out.
Kimball drives it deep down into the turn, lets the car wash up, back to the throttle. He'll retain the lead, and then he slams the door shut. He's really able to shut the door on the front stretch. Turn 3 is where Fitzpatrick seems to be able to keep his nose to the inside.
Again through 3 and 4. Kimball with the jump off the corner. He's going to keep Fitzpatrick at base. Steckly goes third. Josh Stade fourth. Rick Spencer-Walt fifth. Great battling now. And hey, how about this? After a terrible qualifying effort, numerous trips to the pits, that 52 of Jake Sheridan suddenly appeared on the leaderboard, all the way up into 7th.
Now we're starting to see, much like we did at Peterborough, Ryan Kimball's getting really defensive. He'll come down to the bottom, get the car slowed down. Fitzpatrick contact into the back end of Kimball through turns 3 and 4.
Contact there as Fitzpatrick tries to figure out a way around flying Ryan Kimball with less than 40 laps to go, and you got to bet that right rear on that 29 car is not happy right now.
No, Kimball's really working hard down into 1 and 2. Some laps he just absolutely nails it, and there's not much Fitzpatrick can do, but other times he gets bound up in the middle of the corner, and Fitzpatrick gets a big run.
Another driver that surfaced in this battle for the lead. Sitting sixth, Andrew Gressel. He has joined that lead pack right on the back bumper of Rick Spencer-Walt. Home track driver. Going to take it to Rick Spencer-Walt down in 3 and 4.
Gressel drives to the inside, keeps that track position on the bottom. Spencer-Walt holding him off nicely on the high side. Look at this. Ryan Kimball actually opening a bit of daylight between himself and J.R. Fitzpatrick back in second.
And again, I think the fastest car on the track could be sitting in seventh right now. Jake the Snake is coming. He's fought his way through the back of the pack all the way up to seventh here in the late going for the 52.
Ryan Kimball has been at the front of a lot of races in the APC series. Has not been able to seal the deal, but he's looking good out here. Enters turn 1 and 2 on the bottom, keeps the car pinned to the inside. J.R. Fitzpatrick about 2 feet off the back bumper of that 29.
There'll be 33 laps to go at the stripe. Just a regular old Saturday night feature left to settle this one between Flying Ryan Kimball and J.R. Fitzpatrick. Grumpy tried to get a run on the bottom, couldn't do it. Now Stade's going to pile it into the inside for third of Steckly.
Big move by Josh Stade, and he drives it down into the corner, puts the period on the sentence, takes over that third spot. There's a driver who hasn't used up a lot of his stuff. J.R. Fitzpatrick's been working awfully hard. Maybe Stade's got a little bit left in the tank.
Yeah, those front two have both been working for that lead for the last 40 laps or so. And the 29, great job by Flying Ryan Kimball. This is the deepest we've seen him ever lead an APC race as we close in on 30 to go this time by.
Look at Connor James as well in that 4 car. Hats off to that driver, the SSG Gloves number 4, running up with his lead pack. He's had his issues tonight, but the car's fast when it matters.
Well, he hooked his wagon to the back of the 52 and just followed Jake Sheridan through the field. He's now up into 8th and having best run of his season. Connor James up into 8th and on the hunt. As a front 8 all strung out single file, Adam, you can't ask for a tighter field up front.
No, you certainly couldn't, and Ryan Kimball really starting to find that groove. He's actually picked up his pace just a little bit out there, or else the other cars have leveled off a bit, but Fitzpatrick with a good run down the back straightaway. He'll get the nose to the inside, but can't make anything happen. Kimball noses back ahead. He'll lead once again with 27 laps to go.
Off turn 2, they fire down the backstretch. Kimball, your leader. Fitzpatrick second, Stade third. Then Steckly goes fourth, Gressel fifth, Walt in sixth, and again you see Sheridan and James coming to join that battle.
If you're Josh Stade, what do you do out here? J.R. Fitzpatrick has tried just about everything he can. If you're Gressel and Steckly, you need action ahead of you. They're trying to track down Fitzpatrick in the points. They're not going to do it. A couple of spots behind that 84.
Off turn 2, they fire. Fitzpatrick's going to take another run at Kimball down into 3 and 4. Kimball slams the door shut. Going to hold Fitzpatrick off for another trip to the stripe. Now here comes Fitzpatrick. He's going to pitch it in. 2 wheels in the dirt.
He had to. Ryan Kimball was starting to close the door. Fitzpatrick was there. He steered it down into the dirt, back up onto the racetrack, maintained that second spot, and Fitzpatrick will try to size him up once again.
I think this is going to get physical before the end of this one. Your leader again, the 29 of Kimball. Fitzpatrick second. Here comes Josh Stade now getting racy in that 17.
Fitzpatrick really working the angles in the corner. He'll go into turn number 1 way up the racetrack. Try to carve it down to the inside, but Kimball is able to defend. Now he'll go back up to the outside into turn number 3. Try to cross over Kimball on corner exit.
Can't get it done. He's going to have to tuck in line. He'll follow Kimball's tire tracks through 1 and 2. Kimball wheeling that car 20 laps away from his first ever APC win. If he can hold it off, Fitzpatrick trying to collect number 4 on the year.
Kimball just changed his line. I'm not sure if he has a problem with the race car, if he's decided he's going to run the bottom the rest of the way, but I think that's a mistake for the driver of the 29 machine. Opens the door to Fitzpatrick, who taps the wall on the backstretch. Fitzpatrick trying to cross him over. Stade was there.
Stade got in the back of Fitzpatrick. That started a chain reaction. I believe some contact between Steckly and Stade. These front 8 cars now, well, they've broken away. The front 4 are going to decide it for themselves here with less than 20 to go. It's still Kimball, Fitzpatrick, Stade, and Steckly.
J.R. Fitzpatrick, I can't imagine he's very happy right now. He's tried every everything he can to do this pass clean. It hasn't happened for him, and now Josh Stade starting to show the bumper to Fitzpatrick in the 84.
Well, now Fitzpatrick's starting to use that chrome horn on the 29. Did it once, that time through 3 and 4. Another little tap of the bumper off turn 2.
Rick Spencer-Walt to the inside of Andrew Gressel in a battle for the 5th spot, but let's keep our focus at the front of the field on an epic battle between J.R. Fitzpatrick and Ryan Kimball. Josh Stade now sticking his nose in there. 4 cars under a blanket racing for first.
Lap traffic could come into play. It's going to be James Horner out of Fraserville. First one on the chopping block. We'll see what the 29 does. And a veteran move by James Horner just right up to the 3rd groove. You 4 go by and go settle it amongst yourselves.
Less than 15 laps remain in the Stewart's Equipment 100. Ryan Kimball, his car will run fantastic for a number of laps, able to keep J.R. Fitzpatrick at bay. Then J.R. will close in and he'll have to adjust his line, but Ryan Kimball's been up to every challenge so far this race.
And how much tire does that 17 have left here? With just over 10 to go. Now Fitzpatrick's going to get into the side of Kimball. He spun the leader. He just turned the leader and wadded up a bunch of cars.
Is back out. Josh Stade hard on the loud pedal into turn 1.
Prime time Stade on the inside. The kid from Milverton on the high side. They'll drag race down the backstretch. Door panel to door panel.
Josh Stade knows his way around this racetrack. Kyle Steckly, a determined young racer, 3 wide for a moment for that lead. They bump down into turn 1.
Steckly bounced off the 17 down into 1. Rick Spencer-Walt making his presence felt. Closing in on 10 to go. Stade ships the 22 up the speedway. Opens the bottom door for Walt. Walt can't put his nose in there. They're still side by side.
12 laps to go in this one. The Stewart's Equipment 100 will be one for the record book. Steckly into the wall on the back stretch, doesn't even lift, gets the car down off the wall and continues to battle for the lead.
You know how bad that 17 wants it. Rick Spencer-Walt, gets into the side of Steckly. They make contact. Off goes Stade. He's got 3, 4, 5 car lengths out front.
Determination by Rick Spencer-Walt after they made contact out of 4. He was not going to be denied the inside lane. Now they'll go back to doing battle wheel to wheel for that 2nd spot. Kyle Steckly rolling the high side pretty well. Matt Pritico had a bobble there in turn 2 that allows Gord Shepard. Oh, Pritico has a big problem.
I think Shepard helped him up the speedway there through 3 and 4. Pritico will recover, but he loses a bunch of spots. Meanwhile, watching that battle for second, Stade absolutely loving that view out the rear view as Steckly and Rick Spencer-Walt still go toe-to-toe.
8 laps remain for Josh Stade in that Ridgeline number 17, looking for his first career APC victory.
Again, that race on for second. It's Spencer-Walt down the inside. On the outside, it's Kyle Steckly. Race on for second while Stade keeps stretching it out. Now 7 car lengths.
Lap after lap, door to door for the 2nd spot. Rick Spencer-Walt trying to clear the 22. Steckly going to cross him over. Steckly to the inside on the front stretch.
What a move by the youngster from Milverton. Winner on tour last year, trying to get it done here against Rick Spencer-Walt down in 3 and 4. Steckly to the bottom. Spencer-Walt up top. This is the race for second into 1.
At the stripe, it was still Rick Spencer-Walt, but it was darn close.
Steckly now has a little bit of an advantage. He'll clear Rick Spencer-Walt. Here comes Spencer-Walt on the bottom, though.
Spencer-Walt trying to cross him over. Steckly able to defend that move. There's 4 laps to go. 4 laps remain here at Sauble Speedway.
All Josh Stade out front, 10 car lengths out front. All he is hoping is that no caution shows up in the next 3 laps. Stade on the gas off turn 2. Again, a healthy 8 car lengths over Kyle Steckly.
Best battle on the racetrack is for the 4th spot. Gord Shepard has it. Tom Gibbons wants it. He's got Blair Wickett breathing down his neck as well.
Connor James doing battle with the 21 at Critical. That's right in front of your point leader. J.R. Fitzpatrick nowhere to go deep in the pack as he tries to gain spots back.
White flag going to be displayed this time for Josh Stade as he works to the outside of Andrew Gressel.
Off turn 2 for the final time, that Ridgeline Lubricant Canadian Flat Roof Systems machine gonna go to victory lane here at Sauble Speedway at his home track in front of 260 fans. The 17 of Josh Stade picks up win number 1 of his APC career.
Kyle Steckly comes home second and gives a bit of a nudge to Josh Stade. I don't know if that was congratulations or if that was I'll remember that for next time. Rick Spencer-Walt going to come home third. Then it's a couple of 10s. Tom Gibbons and Gord Shepard rounding out the top 5.
Well, Sauble fans, he's got his helmet off. He'll work out of here on the 17 car just a moment. And we'll get a word with a very ecstatic Josh Stade, who wins his first ever APC Tour event here on the beach. We'll get him out here to talk to him in just a moment's time. And you can bet this is going to be a popular one here at home for Josh Stade. Here he comes, Sauble Speedway. Let him know you appreciate his efforts tonight. Josh, amazing drive here tonight. It was a situation where you just had to stay patient and kind of let the race come to you, and that's what you did. Did you have a feeling that there was going to be trouble at the front?
Yeah, I used up the 22 pretty good, and I apologize, but these things don't come easy. He's won a few this year, and I've been fighting for this series for 7 years to get this. To do it at home with all the sponsors, we got over 300 people here, it's just amazing. I'm just so excited.
Talk a bit about your race for us, you know, just a situation of staying calm and making sure you made the right moves, because you haven't had the luck in the past 3 years.
Yeah, I mean, when you're running third with this series, it's nothing to hold your head down about, and you know, we capitalize. Unfortunately, 84 dumped the 29, and that's where you got to be in these situations to capitalize, and we got it done. We brought it home.
Congratulations, Josh.
Thank you very much.
Josh Stade grabs the win. We'll get over here and have a word with second place Kyle Steckly. Kyle, you've been running a lot this year, you know, here with the APC Series. Took last week out west with the NASCAR Pinty Series. You're in these races. You got to be happy with this one.
Yeah, a little disappointed. You know, I think we had the faster car tonight, but got roughed up pretty good there at the end. And man, I'm just so thankful for my whole crew for working hard, giving me a great piece. And we've had a lot of success here in the late models the last couple of weeks. So huge thanks to APC Auto Parts, Quick Fire Starters, Canusa, Automotive Warehousing, Stewart's Equipment, and the Stewart's 100. Wish we could have got the win, but we'll be back. And just got to thank everyone for all their support.
Thanks, Kyle.
Thank you.
Kyle Steckly, upcoming star here in the series. Bring Rick Spencer-Walt over into the light. We'll come to Rick. Rick, you know, that was a wild one out there. A lot of changing lanes, a lot of strategy at speed out there. Talk about the end of that race for us.
That was wild. JR and 29 getting into it there, and then Stade and the 22 got together down the back sheet. I seen him climb the wall. I think we need to maybe bring 3 door panels to this racetrack when we run the outside of people here. So it'd be a lot nicer if they just let up a little and hold bottom. When they got the bottom, it's a preferred group, but hard battle to get back to where we were. We fell back early, and I just let guys go and try to save as much as I could. And the Imprecision Strike Energy, greensteelroof.ca, imagewraps.ca, we got a lot of people on this thing helping us out right now. McCall Racing Enterprise, we showed up and had a lunchbox of a car for practice, and they changed every single thing in this car. And Terry back there in the pits, man, I can't give him enough credit. He worked his ass off today and got us the top 3.
Solid drive, Rick. You've been in all these races this year. Rick Spencer-Walt will finish third. Kyle Steckly be second. And your winner tonight, have a one big huge round of applause for Josh Stade.